Let's take a look at the reiterations that we were referring to. President Donald Trump, in the presence of Indian ambassador, reiterates and says he spoke to Indian Prime Minister Modi, and that President Trump, in the presence of the Indian ambassador, has said how his threat of tariffs is what stopped the war. This is a narrative he has stuck to since day one of Operation Sindoor. Also brings up India-Pakistan war and reiterates how his threat of tariffs is what stopped that war as well. So yes, this is another reiteration that has been made by President Donald Trump. Let me go back to Pranay to in fact understand this in greater depth. Pranay, you were just speaking of how President Trump ends up repeating his narratives again and again. Yes, peace efforts are being made by the president, but as far as India and Pakistan go, we have maintained it extremely clear that Operation Sindoor and the conflict with Pakistan, that was on our own terms, and the fact that when the call was made from Pakistan side and the conversation that happened between both sides, that was also on our own terms. There was no third-party mediation, not even from the United States. We'll try and get that connection back. But yes, viewers, as we are bringing to you, Trump claiming credit for the India-Pakistan truce again. Remember, this has been his stance since day one, a stance that India has time and again rejected and said that while the intention might have been to stop the war, it wasn't, however, Donald Trump who's responsible for any mediation on that front. Pranay, if you can hear me now, just to put this into context, yet another time we see Donald Trump claiming credit for making truce between India and Pakistan.
Shreya, I think the world has lost the count that how many times President Donald Trump has made these claims, because not only about India and Pakistan, he made claims about Thailand and Cambodia. He made claims about various other countries as well, and we have seen that how the world leaders have perceived. You might have seen the video of the Albanian president, making a joke out of it with the Azerbaijan president, and in the presence of French President Emmanuel Macron, that how President Donald Trump has stopped a war between these two countries, border conflict between these two countries. However, they do not share. They are on different continents. So this is how his statements are being perceived. Way off the mark as far as the facts are concerned, but this is how President Donald Trump wants to sell to his domestic audience that how he is making efforts, how he is using tariff as an effective tool, as an effective tool of foreign policy, and this is how he is trying to claim the credit for his effort, and how he wants to sell to his domestic politics. But as far as the India-Pakistan conflict is concerned, as you rightly pointed it out, that it was Pakistan DGMO's phone call, and it was Pakistan government's effort, and in fact they sought a ceasefire because they were badly hit during the military operation of India during Operation Sindoor, and that remains a fact because. As I mentioned, that President Donald Trump never answered the question that if India accepted the tariff terms, if India, succumbed to his pressure, so-called pressure, then why did he decided to impose a 50% tariff on India? Because if this thing happened in May, he decided to impose 50% tariff on India in August. Then why did he change his mind? He never answered that question. And that's why this remains a fact that, tariff was never discussed, tariff was never an issue as far as India-Pakistan conflict is concerned, as far as, the peace, the so-called, peace efforts are concerned. Though there were phone calls by the United States, Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, there was phone call by J.D. Vance, the U.S. Vice President as well. But
right.
Those were the phone calls to inquire, to find out that what is there, what is what is off ramp for India, and India accepted the fact that there were phone calls by various other world leaders.
Right.
And India always mentioned, Shreya, that the onus lies on Pakistan. If Pakistan stops these military actions, then India will respond accordingly.
It's one thing to have an intention, for sure, but it's a totally different thing to actually, implement it. And that is the difference that lies in the narrative that's being pushed by the US president time after time when we speak of the India-Pakistan conflict.